Have you ever wondered why so many people in open relationships end up feeling disconnected and unfulfilled? While open relationships promise endless opportunities and excitement, they rarely deliver on the deep, lasting fulfillment that we crave. Today, we're diving into why monogamy is still the best path to a meaningful, co-creative relationship. We'll explore how it can create not just a partnership, but a legacy of love. If you're tired of modern relationship trends that lead nowhere, then stick around. You might be surprised by what works and why. Let's talk non-monogamy, or open relationships as most people call them. Any relationship where both partners have agreed that they can engage romantically or sexually with other people outside of the primary relationship. There are many structures that these relationships take, but the core idea is that both partners pursue other connections while leaving the main bond intact. Now, let's get straight to the point. It simply doesn't work. It never has, and it never will. I can already hear some of you saying, but I'm in an open relationship and it's great. Or, my friends are in an open relationship and they seem to have no issues. But let me clarify what I mean when I say it doesn't work. First, we have to ask, what is the purpose of a relationship? For me, a relationship's purpose is multifold. First, what are we creating or co-creating? What are we bringing into the world, and how are we doing it? This co-creation can take many forms, of which the highest is consciously conceiving children, bringing the next generation into being with intention. Growth and evolution are also central to a relationship. My commitment to my wife is about growing and evolving together. No personal challenges, ceremonies, traumas, or anything else in my life even compare to the amount of growth and evolution I have experienced by being with her. She is the perfect mirror to my soul, guiding my soul on its evolution as I gently guide hers. And then, of course, there's physical pleasure and intimacy. Without these, none of the others would be possible. Why? Because it dissolves barriers, bringing partners closer mentally, physically, and spiritually. Notice how in a relationship, there are multiple pillars, not just one. Here's a metaphor to help explain. Your relationship is like a garden that you are cultivating together with your partner. A living, evolving space of co-creation, growth, and connection. A space of love. At the heart of this garden is the seed that you both plant together. The shared vision of what you are building, creating, and nurturing together. This seed represents your dreams, intentions, and the life that you wish to bring forth into the world. Just as every garden's ultimate creation is the fruit it bears, the pinnacle of your co-creation is the conscious, intentional bringing forth of children into the world. A living legacy that reflects the love and care that you've poured into your shared space. As the garden grows, so do you. The soil must be tended and the plants pruned. This is the work of growth and evolution. The garden thrives as you weather seasons together, nourishing each other through triumphs and challenges. The changing landscape reflects the growth within each of you, constantly evolving and changing, becoming more than you once were. The garden's resilience and beauty emerge not just from its blooms, but from the process of tending it together, day in and day out. Lastly, there's the touch, the sunlight, water, and gentle care that bring life into the garden. This is the physical pleasure and intimacy that nourishes everything else. Without the sunlight's warmth and the rain's gentle touch, the garden would struggle to survive and thrive. This intimacy is vital, dissolving barriers and infusing love into every corner of your co-creation. It connects the roots to the sky, allowing all other elements to flourish. Together, the garden that you nurture becomes more than just a shared space. It's a reflection of the shared purpose, growth, and tenderness that sustains it. A space of love, a living creation. And in the end, it's not just about the harvest, but the process of creating it together. As you can see, the primary thing here is the desire to co-create something real, alive, and breathing. Whether it's a garden, a child, or a shared mission, it is fundamental to any real relationship, and it's what defines one. This cannot be separated from our sexuality, the desire to create real things, not just emotions or sensations. Why? Well, the primary drive behind sex is procreation, a deeply ingrained force in humans and all living beings. It's why there's 8 billion of us on the planet. Now, let's take a step back. We see animals all around us mating, But do we talk about their relationships? Do we marvel at a bull's deep connection with all the cows in the field? Of course not. Relationships, as I'm discussing here, are uniquely human. They're about conscious decision making, intention, and planting seeds for the future. So, how could an open relationship possibly work if the goal is co creation? Well, it doesn't. Let's return to the garden metaphor. We have limited time here. There's 24 hours in a day. How many gardens can you realistically tend to? And how quickly does the second garden start taking energy from the first garden? Well, immediately. A relationship requires daily care, just like a garden. If you're only tending your garden on the weekends, it might survive, but it's not going to thrive. How much time are you investing in your relationship each day? With each new partner, it's going to divide that time, spreading your presence and your attention thinner. So what's the point in creating a bunch of small gardens that struggle for your attention and your presence? Now, I'll concede this. If the purpose of your relationship is purely physical pleasure, then maybe an open relationship can work for a while. After all, variety can increase sexual satisfaction, and open relationships require clear boundaries and communication, which are valuable skills. Many people also argue that because most mammals are non-monogamous, that it's more natural. Let's take these points apart. Yes, most mammals are non-monogamous, but using that to justify multiple partners, it just doesn't hold water. We're different from all other mammals. We are the only species on this planet that can hold an image within our mind, refine that image over time, still within our mind, and then at some point later in the future, bring this image to life physically. Bonobos are indeed non-monogamous, and sex plays a large role in their social structure, often as a way of social bonding or stress relief. Also, bonobos never shower, they don't live in houses, and they never seek medical attention when they're injured or sick. So, justifying our sexual and/or partnership preferences based on other mammals, it just doesn't really make sense. Now, as to the idea that an open relationship brings about more sexual satisfaction, okay, sure, maybe. If the pursuit of pleasure is primary to you, then maybe that's a great path for you. But let's be clear, what's driving that desire for sex is a fundamental urge to procreate. It's why the need is so strong. When we have sex for pleasure, we are hijacking this need. And yes, it feels great. But when you compare monogamous and open relationships, you're looking at two very fundamentally different things. In an open relationship, sex is very often the main pillar. In a monogamous one, it's just one of the many pillars. The main pillar of a monogamous relationship being co-creation, building something together. Sex serves as a tool to assist this greater goal of co-creation, as well as mutual growth and evolution. For me, a relationship is about creating a space of love, a real living place on this planet. It is a prayer to life and to nature, a promise to continue my Creator's great act of creation that is happening here on this planet. That's why I see the garden metaphor as more than just a metaphor. It's a real thing. If the goal is co-creation, then what better way than to nurture a garden together? To create together a living ecosystem that thrives, a place for butterflies, bees, squirrels, a place for flowers, fruits, pines, and cedars. A place that when someone visits, they feel the love radiating everywhere and wrapping around them. If couples cultivated gardens together, I guarantee that most relationship issues would vanish completely. But again, how many gardens can I create? If the goal is to create a perfect space of love, then the answer is one. Energy flows where attention goes. If I give my energy to someone else, to another garden, then there's less for each. What's more, this garden, this creation, is just one of the many things I'm doing. It's hard enough to make sure that I'm devoting as much time as is needed to it already. I have my individual work in the world. As a mentor, a shamanic healer, a relationship counselor, a musician, a web developer. I like to read books, exercise my body, spend time with my friends, and also spend time with myself in quiet contemplation. The time I have to devote to my wife is already limited. Imagine if I limit it further by splitting it with someone else. And for what? A fleeting orgasm? Sex with someone new that's exciting just because it's different? The truth is that anyone in an open relationship would see that if they invested that time and energy into their primary relationship, then the deeper sexual satisfaction that they're seeking would appear. A monogamous relationship can offer nearly everything an open relationship can, except it builds towards something greater. The reverse, however, isn't true. To think otherwise is to miss the bigger picture. Now, don't get me wrong, there's nothing inherently wrong with an open relationship. They can work great for some people depending on their goals. But it's not just a simple question of whether to be open or monogamous. It's about understanding that open relationships don't even fit into the same category as building a life together in a committed monogamous partnership. That's why I say they don't truly work in the way that matters most. If your aspirations don't include creating a meaningful, lasting life with someone, a real, tangible space of love here on Earth, then sure, enjoy the open relationship. But don't convince yourself that you know what it means to truly co-create, to consciously enter a relationship with the goal of building something profound and lasting, a reflection of the perfect creation that we all inhabit. So if you're feeling unfulfilled in modern relationship trends, then maybe it's time to rethink what matters. Co-creation, growth, intimacy, these are the pillars that can create something truly lasting. A life, a love, a legacy. If you're on that journey or thinking about it, then stick around. There's more to explore. Thanks for watching. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Do you think monogamy is outdated, or do you see its deeper purpose? I'd love to hear what you think. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share if this resonated with you. Until next time, keep creating spaces of love in your life.